Hello, I'm Christine Kiefer. Welcome to America's online news network, and this is Ask the Expert. Producer Ralph Eisenberg and director Joe Della Fuente, both from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, were recently nominated for the documentary they developed, El Gringo Schindler.
My name is Ralph Eisenberg. I am the founder of the Eisenberg Center for Immigration Empowerment. I also had the privilege and pleasure of producing and editing and writing
a lot of the projects.
El Gringo Schindler. I guess it was easy to do since I live it day to day. You know, a lot of folks in this country really wonder what's going on in immigration. And, you know, Joe, I really think, and please introduce yourself.
I'm Joe Della Fuente. I'm the director of El Gringo Schindler.
I think that there is perhaps too much of an attempt by the entire community, anyone that's involved in immigration, to try and come up with the right words. But John F. Kennedy back in 1958 said it best, and I want to make sure I got it right. Immigration policy should be generous, it should be fair, it should be flexible. With such a policy, we can turn to the world into our own past with clean hands and a clear conscience.
It's a very powerful statement.
And then we look at what's happening today with our, not the policy, because the policy is basically the same since 1952. It's how the policy's being carried out, largely from the fallout from 9/11, and in some ways I think that we have gone astray.
Exactly.
And in the way that we've gone astray is that we, as a country, the United States of America, have always tried to set the highest standard as far as what we expect of the world community. We expect the world community to treat humans in a proper fashion. And yet, when you look at our current methods used here in this country, they approach those of some of the worst third world nations on the face of the earth. El Gringo Schindler will bring to reality. There ain't going to be any fooling around in that movie. It will show firsthand that pain. And as director, please say more. I mean, you were part of it since the very first.
Exactly. And that's why the documentary took a year and a half, because it's non-scripted. So it's not like you can write a script and shoot it in 2 months. We had to cover the case, and pretty much we had to be around full time to be able to see what happened and the problems that people deal with immigration, and what happens with the unfairness of the system.
You know, one of the difficult things that we dealt with is that 78% of the people that we end up helping in my office are minor children, and their hearts are broken, and we have to try to mend a broken heart. At the same time, we are dealing with some of the most technical procedures, and processes. It wasn't 5 years ago. Immigration used to be deporting the men. And then they figured out, well, if we deport the women, and the women stay, and the men stay behind with the children, ultimately the men break down and they all leave.
Right.
And that's just not right.
It's inhumane. And the fact that our documentary is so accurate is probably the reason that we've been nominated for several awards, as Christine mentioned. And I know there's an updated number of festivals that we were accepted in. And I know you, I think, have more information about that.
Well, to me, yes, we're approaching some 20 festivals, but Joe, in honesty, as long as we've got one festival with one audience that will get the word and understand what we have experienced and what we continue to experience on a daily basis, it makes the film worth it. I didn't do the film with you to impress audiences and judges. I did the film with you to record for history what we as a people, we the people, did during this period of time and how wrong it is. This is a book that my mother gave me. I never saw another butterfly. And this is the book of children's drawings and poems from the Teresian concentration camp, where over half of my family, before I came to the United States, I didn't come before my parents came to the United States, perished in the same camp.
Right.
I never saw another butterfly. Well, how many of our immigrants that we're trying to help have that same sense of despair? Only in their case, I never saw my mother again. That's what worries me. And that's what this movie intends to tackle firsthand.
They collaborated on this documentary about 5 immigration cases, and it highlights the Eisenberg Center for Immigration Empowerment and its founder, Ralph Eisenberg.
The man that I voted for has set the deportation record of all time, and last year my president sent 200,000 people back to a foreign land when those 200,000 people had committed no crime whatsoever, and they had a spouse that was a U.S. citizen, and they had a child that was a U.S. citizen, and if he used the size of the family, somewhere between 600 and 1 million people now have got a broken family.
These rising creators have been nominated for several awards for El Gringo Schindler, from North Carolina to Indonesia, and they have garnered serious attention from Los Angeles movers and shakers. The nominations they have received so far are for Best Director, Best Foreign Film, and a Humanitarian Award.
En esta cajita tengo partes de huesitos de mi hijo, de lo que mi hija levantó. Lo siento aquí, lo siento conmigo, y esto que tengo de él para mí es muy valioso.
I'm Christine Kiefer. Thank you for watching America's online news network and Ask the Expert.